to be together. Life with me will be better. Girl, just let them be. You be doing yourself a favor. Girl, I'm just trying to see you. Oh, girl, he's sleeping. All right.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Love Talk Talk Show. My name is Angel Thomas and I am the host. Love Talk is a self-empowerment talk show that encourages individuals like yourself to believe in yourself. If you're new here, welcome to Love Talk family. If you're back, thank you for coming back. Today y'all, we have the one and only Burnell Taylor here on Love Talk today. He is a singer-songwriter. He has over 1.5 million views on TikTok, 10 million views, and like so many, just all the love around the world, y'all. And guess what? He is here on Love Talk. He is born and raised from New Orleans, and it's just an honor and a privilege to have you here on Love Talk today. How are you doing?
I'm honored to be here as well. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good, but I don't just want to ask you how you're doing. How are you mentally doing?
Great question. I'm like stuck between like it's all going good and it's all falling apart. Mm-hmm. But I think sometimes when things fall apart, well, when everything falls apart, it's only coming together. So my mom just recently had a stroke, about a month ago, and it's just a lot seeing her, in the state that she's in. Granted, she's very blessed because I know a lot of people that experience strokes that's not able to talk, that's not able to walk, and it's just a process, and just seeing her in that state that I've never seen her in before, mentally it's taking a toll on me, but I know this too shall pass.
Yes. And first and foremost, I'm sorry to hear about your mom.
Thank you.
And it's crazy that you don't look like what you're going through.
Yeah.
Because even just following you on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere, you're still pushing, you're still grinding. But I also want to tell you to take a moment for yourself as well through it all, because it's important, our mental health. And that's why I asked you, how are you mentally? Mm-hmm. Because it's easy to ask somebody, how are you doing? And we're just programmed to say, I'm fine.
I'm fine. And I think that's just how we, like, our culture, like, we've been taught to, like, always be strong and, sweep things under the rug. But like you said, it is very important to ask people, like, how you doing? Because sometimes, most of the times, the strong people need to be checked on as well,
Yes. So I'm just sending you love, sending your mom love, your family love, and just, y'all are in my prayers.
Thank you.
Now today on Love Talk, we're going to talk about the journey. Okay, because we see Burnell Taylor. I know you at Scooter. Mm-hmm. We see you and we see the grind. We see the hustle. We see, the rewards, the fruits of your labor. Mm-hmm. But we don't see the hard times. We don't see Scooter when he depressed. When he don't want to take pictures. When he don't want to sing. Him going through family issues. His mom just had a stroke. We don't see that. Mm-hmm. So today we're going to talk about the journey. 2022, that's the year now. We're going to talk about, let's take it all the way back to almost 10 years ago. You were on American Idol. A lot of people know you from American Idol. You were on the 12th season of American Idol, and you were 19 years old. 19 years old. Many people know you from the iconic audition. You sung from The Color Purple, I Am Here.
Burnell, what you gonna sing today?
I'm gonna sing I'm Here from The Color Purple.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm gonna hold my head up. I'm gonna put my shoulders back and look you straight in the eyes. I'm gonna flirt with somebody when they walk by. I'm gonna sing out, sing high.
Come on.
You're beautiful. Yes, I'm handsome. And I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yes. Now, that's Louisiana. See, look at that.
Good Lord.
Yo, crazy dudes.
You could turn an atheist.
Crazy. Exactly. Crazy.
Well, let's start here. Mariah, tell us, what did you think of Sweet Burnell?
Burnell made me cry. Burnell's tone is ridiculous. I mean, I loved it. I don't want to go, I can't even, I felt every single word you sang.
Thank you.
Just spectacular.
That is what we came for.
Exactly.
I feel like we've been flying all around this country for that. That thing that can't even be put in words. That thing that gives everybody chills and goosebumps.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy you did that because that wasn't even an audition. That was just entertainment for us. While everybody else auditions, you just entertained us.
Amazing voice.
And killed it, by the way. You had Mariah Carey crying. You had Nicki Minaj saying that, you know, this is not an audition, this is entertainment for us. You know, so let's talk about the song first. Why did you choose that song, I Am Here?
Crazy thing is, maybe, like, a lot of people don't understand that the show is really, like, what y'all see is, like, only a glimpse of, like, what really goes on. So, we auditioned maybe about 4 times before we even get to the celebrity judges. Yeah. And it was just like one day we had 2 auditions in one day. We had to get out of one room to go to the other room. Yeah, it's a lot. And I remember going in the room and I sung I Can't Make You Love Me. And first of all, the room is set up for you to be intimidated because you walk in this big old room with a long table with like 10 producers sitting at the table, yeah. And I remember when I went in and I sung, they were like, we thought, one of the guys was like, we thought that you played with the song too much, meaning I did too many runs. But something told me like, nah, you know, I'm good with what I'm doing. Like, I wasn't even, at the time, I wasn't a runner, like, because I didn't have any like professional coaching, like I didn't have no vocal coach. Like everything I did was basically by ear and like growing up listening to my mama singing, listening to the people that she listened to. So the day of the audition, well, maybe like 2 weeks before the audition we had with the celebrity judges, I was like, I was gonna do I Can't Make You Love Me, and something just told me like, nah, you know. Because what a lot of people don't understand either is the more songs that people do, the less chance you have being shown. Because what they'll do is, like, let's say 10 people come in and they sing I Can't Make You Love Me. What they're going to do is they're going to combine everybody auditions together, yeah, and it's going to be like snippets of everybody performances. So I knew I had to do something that was going to stand out and something I knew nobody was going to do. So then I came across I'm Here, and I listened to Fantasia do it live, and I listened to Jennifer Hudson do it live. Both idols, you know. And I was practicing. And the day of the audition, it's a lot that go on. You got to do interviews, all kind of things. The day of the audition, as I'm getting up to go to my interview, I'm walking out of the door. Who pulling up? Mariah Carey. She getting out of the car and coming into the building. Mind you, I'm from New Orleans. The only celebrity I saw at this point was probably like Wayne. You know, so I wasn't used to seeing Mariah Carey. So when I saw it, messed my whole train of thought up, right? I'm like, nah, I'm forgetting the words to I'm Here. I'm forgetting the melody, everything. So I'm like, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do I Can't Make You Love Me. So right before I stepped on, because it's an X that you gotta stand on. Right before I stepped on the X to go audition, I said I'm gonna do I Can't Make You Love Me. When I went in the room, and this just goes to show you, like, you know, you never in control. Like, God is always in control. So I walked in the room, and mind you, only person I saw was Mariah. So I got a chance to see Nicki, Randy, Keith Urban. I'm seeing all these people in front of me. So when they asked me what song I was gonna sing, I accidentally said, I'm here. And then I knew it was too late for me to turn back now. Like, I just had to trust that I was gonna be able to execute, right? And when I finished, I kid you not, well, this happens still now. When I sing, I kind of black out and I go to like a whole nother place. But I just blacked out. And then when I snapped back, I just saw them standing up. And I'm like, well, I must have did a great job.
Wow.
Now, this is the crazy thing. After literally, soon as I walked out of the room after my audition and I went in the room with my family, soon as I came out of the room with my family, all you see is Mariah Carey makeup artist, Nicki hairstylist, Safari, her ex at the time, all them come running looking for me. So they just standing there like, man, like, you really just took us to church, like. And what's also so crazy, we have to take like a 500 question test. Now it ain't no like complicated test, but you have to read. It's like taking a complicated test because you have to read every like question.
Oh, wow.
So I auditioned probably like 1 o'clock in the evening. We didn't leave until like 12 that night. But the whole time they was literally, as we leaving, they was still talking about my audition. On this, like the securities had their walkie-talkies, and they was still talking about my audition.
Wow.
Wow, like as I'm leaving.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the fact that you blacked out, you know, and you say you still do that to this day. We're gonna talk more about, you know, about that. But I want to talk more about the process of American Idol, because for me, I watch all the American Idol seasons, you know, even now. And we see the audition, then you go to Hollywood. Then we just see on stage and, you know. But I remember for you, you went to auditions, and it seems like the next time I saw you, you looked like you was 30 pounds lighter. And I vividly remember writing you, because I'm always on a fitness journey. And I said, how did you lose so much weight? And you was like, I was on a treadmill. So how did you, what was the, tell us what the process is like from the audition.
Thing is, I still have that screenshot.
Really?
I wish I would have brought it with me. I still have the screenshot of you commenting under one of the pictures saying, I think you said something like, you're my motivation or something.
Yes.
So you don't know nothing basically, right? You don't know nothing like as far as like the editing process and none of that. And one day we was just sitting down, it was Thanksgiving, I'll never forget. Ironically enough, everybody was at my house. And we was looking, I think at the time, X Factor was on. And we was looking at X Factor. And we just watching the TV. Next thing you know, American Idol commercial come on, and it's me. Yeah, the whole Burnell made me cry. That was the clip that they used to promote Idol or whatever. Now this was my first time seeing myself on television, and you know you gotta keep in mind they say TV make you like 10 pounds heavier. But to me, that was just my first time being able to see myself outside of myself. So I said, you know, we had a treadmill in the house that nobody was on, and I just got on it one day. And when I tell you, listen, working out is truly a drug. It's very addictive. Like you can get addicted really fast to working out. And I was on it morning, night, so bad to the point my grandma had to tell me, Scooter, slow down, like, you know, you're getting too small or whatever. So I just, you know, just working out. And then when I went back to Idol, it was so bad. Well, good, I guess. But it was so different to where they didn't even know it was, because when we go to Hollywood Week, mind you, the commercial is rolling. So the Mariah Carey thing is all on TV or whatever. But when you get to Hollywood Week, it's everybody from everywhere. Like, all the people that auditioned in all of the cities. So they didn't even know. I was doing my green screens and everything, and one of the producers was like, Burnell? I was like, yeah. She was like, what? Like, I'm like, I know. And literally, it was like I auditioned in October. We went to Hollywood Week in December 8th, December 9th, something around that time.
So it's not
so it was
you
really quick.
auditioning and then a week later you're in Hollywood. It's
No.
Oh, so you lost the weight at home. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. Wow. So you did it because you saw yourself on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
At that time, it wasn't nothing like nobody wasn't telling me like you should lose weight. Like it was just a thing that I wanted to do. Like I wanted to like kind of show them that I was, serious about being in the moment that I was in. I knew it was a serious moment, and I didn't know, but I knew that if I stayed the course, if I stayed true to myself, that I was gonna get really far. So I wanted to make sure, and also too, what a lot of people don't know is when they came to do my when they came to my house and did my interviews and stuff for the audition. My original story was about how I didn't really have a great relationship with my father or whatever. But I think maybe they thought that was, too typical, so they wanted to go another route. And they came to my house, and at the time, we had just had a hurricane. I want to say it was Hurricane Isaac. We had just had a hurricane. And they interviewed me. They like, so you guys just had a hurricane. How does it compare to Hurricane Katrina? Now, mind you, I don't even really like talking about Katrina too much because I was in it. I experienced it. And then at the time, this was years after Katrina. So I kind of wanted to finesse and switch up the storyline. So then it changed from like this Katrina victim to he lost all of his weight. So it was kind of very strategic for me to do. Like it wasn't really nothing that, like I said, nobody was telling me like, oh, you need to lose weight if you don't. Like nobody was telling me that. I just knew that I had to switch up the storyline.
So speaking of, let's pause American Idol for a second. So you've never talked about your Hurricane Katrina story, and why is that?
I just think it's just it's a touchy conversation. Like not even just the experience, like being there, but like just everything that was lost, like friendships. Like there's friends still to this day I don't know where they at. So it's just a touchy conversation for me, and I really honestly thought we wasn't gonna make it. Yeah.
Have you watched Katrina Babies?
I did.
And how did that make you feel?
I wish I was on it. I wish I was on it because it really is now, like growing up and like getting past that. It was sad, but at the same time, like it was funny moments too for me. Like I remember looking back and like just the little things like that we was finding, even when we was in the midst of all of that, like my family and stuff, still being able to have moments where we laugh, so it wasn't really all bad, but I wish I would have had the opportunity to really talk about it and really express like how that whole journey was. Like it was crazy.
Well, I know this is your journey today, but we're gonna revisit your Hurricane Katrina story on Love Talk. Because it's important that we release that. Because I didn't even know it affected me, how it affects me, but it affects me to this day. And I feel this is a safe place for you to be able to express that. So we are definitely going to set that up so you can talk about your Katrina story, even though it's touchy. But I think it's needed. So we'll get back to that. Let's jump back to American Idol. Top 10. Your top 10, I think it was the debut song was I'm Ready for Love.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. No. Let's really get into it. Come on. Ask me what you gotta ask.
I am ready for love. Why are you hiding from me? How quickly give my freedom to be held in your captivity? captivity. If you give me half a chance, I'll prove this to you. I will be patient, kind, faithful, and true to a girl who loves music, a girl who loves art, respects her spirit world, and thinks with her heart. I am ready for love, here with an offering of love. My voice, my eyes, my soul, my mind. Tell me what is enough to prove I am ready for
So why that song?
First of all, let me, if you don't mind, let me back up a tad bit.
Go ahead.
With Arie, because I never talked about this also.
Okay.
With me being on the commercial, like with Mariah Carey, it also made me a huge target, you know, because it's a point in the show where it's really not about who the most talented or none of that. It's really about who's being shown the most. Like, they have some people they don't show until, like, they don't show the auditions, they don't show the Hollywood week, they don't show them until sometimes they get to the live rounds, you know. So the less times that you're shown, you know, the least fans, you know, that you're getting or whatever. So it was a time where, like, the show didn't even come on yet. We was like doing shoots or whatever, and there was a time where I was sitting down, everybody was getting ready to do their individual shots or whatever, and like just how me and you sitting down, it's a couple of contestants around me. One of the producers came up to me and said, "Hi Burnell, I heard you've been getting drunk at the bar." Now, mind you, I had made a vow, because my earlier years, from like 15 all the way up until this point, I was drinking a lot, right? So I had made this whole vow that I wouldn't drink, you know, if God allowed me to, you know, walk into my purpose and, you know, get far on the show or whatever. So I had worked really hard, you know, not to drink. But it was in the contracts that we could be disqualified for X, Y, and Z. And that was one of the things, drinking underage. Remember, I was only 19. But that was something that somebody put in their ear because they saw me as a threat. You know? Still to this day, I don't know, you know, who it was, but I wanted to say that. Moving forward, the reason why I sung Ready for Love, I was preparing a lot, like before we went, because once we leave Hollywood, we go back home, and then we come back and do, at the time it was the Vegas round. So I had prepared, I knew that we had to perform 3 times, so I had prepared, I'm Here, This Time, and Ready for Love. Now Ready for Love I was supposed to sing first, but it wound up being This Time by John Legend. And then I did I'm Here Again over or whatever. Like, I did all the parts that they didn't get to see me do. And then Ready for Love was left. Now, listen to how that worked. I was originally supposed to, for my top 10 victory song, I was originally supposed to sing Diamonds by Rihanna. But it was another guy that had picked the same song. So when you pick the same song, they make you do a hat draw. And he wound up getting a song. And I was mad at first because I really wanted to sing that song. But then I'm like, well, I have to do Ready for Love. Now this way it get interesting. Because I'm not going to say no specific names. I'm going to just say they. they were telling me not to sing the song because it was too slow, it was too sleepy, and they thought that I should sing something else. But I was so like, I had already lost diamonds, so I'm like, I'm gonna sing this song, and I knew this was the perfect time for me to do it, because had I wouldn't have did it then, I probably wouldn't have had a chance to do it, because you know, it's themes, you know, each week is a different theme, and based off of how the themes went, I wouldn't have never been able to sing it.
Right.
So I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it, and I wound up doing it. And I just remember, like, everybody, Nicki walked up to me, she whispered in my ear, she was like, you should have saved that. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I couldn't have saved it because I wouldn't have been able to sing it. Like, you know, Safari, he was walking up to me like, this was the first time in a long time that we was really able to, like, interact or whatever, because, you know, it's a job, first of all, you know, so everybody got to be professional. And then they don't want it to make it look like they have favorite, you know, favorite contestants or whatever. Still to this day, if I didn't want to sing another song, if I didn't want to record another song, I could solely live off of Ready for Love, like, probably for the rest of my life. Like, it's just, it was a moment, you know, and it don't have, well, I don't know why, but the original video, by now it would probably have about 3 million views, but they snatched it down for whatever reason. So only video is up is a video that somebody else uploaded to their YouTube or whatever. But it didn't, like, it wasn't, like, it didn't do no crazy numbers like 30 million, but it just go to show you, like, it doesn't matter, like, whatever is impactful, whatever hit people, whatever touch people is gonna stick. And literally, I woke up the next day and was doing the interview, and I just was getting buku notifications on my phone, and it was India Arie asking me where can she watch the video. And I'm like, yo, like, this is crazy that
the
India Arie is asking me where can she, you know, see the video. So immediately, like, I almost didn't even want to do the interview. I'm like, oh, I gotta write her back and let her know where, you know, she could go watch it. And she hit me back and was like, you know, you're amazing, and I love, you know, just getting that stamp of approval from somebody who I, like, listened to basically my whole life. And it let me know that, you know, I did a great job, and she, you know, liked it.
Yes. And that's what I was going to ask you, like, what was the feeling getting that stamp of approval from the Miss India Arie, like?
Still, you know, I'm going to say this. The stamp was one thing, but her actually, like, living up to the person that I thought that she was, like, is everything. Still to this day, I could text her right now and be like, I need to, you know, I need your ear or whatever, and she gonna hit me back. Like, hands down, one of the most, like, selfless human beings. She's really what she, like, you know, portrayed to be.
Yes, and I really love that, because like you said, that was almost 10 years ago. To this day, that's your #1 song. When I scroll through your Instagram, that's the song I hear a lot. That's the song I hear, and it's crazy how I can hear you sing that song a million times, but each time I hear it, I get a different feeling.
Cause it's a different experience, you know. Everything should feel different, you know. And that's what I really like about it. Like, every time I sing for somebody, it's always different, because it's you know, it's always different reactions. It's always, and then I genuinely love Ready for Love. Like, I'm kind of getting to the point where I want to kind of, like, put it on hold for a second, because what a lot of people don't know is India gave me permission to re-record it. But I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for, like, the perfect time to do so. It's coming soon. I just don't. I used to be the type of person that speak on things before it's, like, concrete solid. So I just kind of been, you know, moving in silence with that. But yeah, I love Ready for Love, love India Arie. And the crazy thing is, after she hit me, like I got her number like almost immediately. I still remember the first time I heard her voice over the phone. Like we was sitting, all the contestants we had like down the hill from where we stayed. We stayed at this hotel called the Sunset Marquis, and down the hill is like a lot of restaurants or whatever. And we had all went out to eat, and I had got up for a split second to go like wash my hands, go use the bathroom or something. And when I came back, they was all telling me, India is calling you, India is calling you. And I'm like, what I do? And they like, answer the phone. I'm like, hello. She like, be cool. Hey, Mr. Burnell. I was like, hey. And then literally like after she said hello, like everything was just like, okay, like she really seems like a normal person. And she, you know, she's really just a genuine soul, like.
Yes.
And then that same year, she texted me and said she had a surprise for me, because we had went back and started like rehearsing for the tour. She was like, she had a surprise for me, and I was just like, you know, what is the surprise? And she texted me, was like, I'm taking you with me to the BET Awards. Yep. And the crazy thing is also, when I went, like she told me that we was gonna do the red carpet and everything, but the only thing was I wasn't gonna be able to sit with her. That's how much she's really a realist. She performed a couple times that night, and I think had to present a couple times also. So she is so real, and she knew that that moment, you know, meant so much to me that even with her telling me I wasn't going to be able to sit by her, every time that she had to get out of her seat, she would make me sit in her seat. So it was a time that year Charlie Wilson had got honored. It was a time I was literally smack dead. I got the picture. I was smack dead behind Charlie Wilson.
Come on, somebody.
And in that same seat, I said, next year, I'm going to be on stage. Tweeted it.
I got the chill bones.
Tweeted it. I got that too. I got the screenshot of that too. Tweeted and said I was going to be there that next year. That next year, I opened for Nicki.
Burnell, I literally have chill bumps.
Yeah. I went to the awards with India. Mind you, I was still technically under contract, so I wasn't really supposed to go, but we was off, and who's about to tell India Arie, no, I'm not going to be able to go. So I went, and they were mad. Oh yeah, they was mad. They was mad. I remember them coming in our room, like our holding room where we was rehearsing, and saying, so how was the BET Awards? Not the contestants,
right.
The producers of the tour. It was like, how was the BET Awards? I'm like, oh, it was great. You know, I had a great time. And also too, you know, me being from New Orleans, we ain't gonna really take too much. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna stand up for ourselves. We gonna speak up when necessary. So they knew the type of person they was dealing with when they came to me. So I think they let a lot of stuff slide because they knew, like, no, this is what I wanted to do. You know, there's never gonna be another time where India is gonna be taking me to the BET Awards for my first time. You know what I'm saying? So I went.
Wow.
And then that whole we went on a tour that whole year. Like things had kind of like slowed down, you know, as expected though, because I feel like when people don't see you on TV, it's like out of sight, out of mind, right? And that whole year, I remember when I was on the show, like I was getting birthday wishes from people I ain't hear from in years. Like people reaching out to me trying to see how I'm doing and all that, and telling me they proud of me, but I didn't hear from them in years. And I just remember just feeling like I ain't gonna bounce back from this. Like I'm not gonna bounce back from this. And literally that next year I was just laying in bed And I had took a nap, and something had told me to get up. Something had told me to get up. And I got up, and when I got up, something told me to grab my phone. It was weird. Something told me to grab my phone, and something told me to go to Twitter. I don't know why, but go to Twitter. And I go to Twitter, I go to my DMs, and it's a message from Nicki. She like, I need a number on you ASAP. So now, first of all, I didn't went to the page. Look, I didn't went to the page trying to make sure it's really real. Nicki, I'm like, so I sent, because a lot of people don't understand either. Like, we wasn't like communicating like that really after the show. You know, she is and was a superstar at the time, so she didn't have time to just be, you know, talking to me. So it was really random, you know. So I sent the number back, and I thought that she would hit me back immediately, but she didn't. So with her not hitting me back immediately, my nerves got bad. So I got on the treadmill and I started working out because I didn't know what else to do. My nerves was just bad. So probably like 15 minutes into my workout, I get a phone call. And she like, hey Bernie, because she used to call me Bernie. She like, hey Bernie. I was like, what's up, Nicki? You know, trying to play it cool. I'm like, what's up? She like, it's not set in stone yet, but I want you to open for me for the BT Awards. She was like, you think you can handle it? I'm like, think I can handle it. I'm like, what's up? My bag's already packed. Like, they sitting at the door. What airline I'm getting on? Like, who I'm flying with? So she was like, I'm headed to the rehearsal. Let me, you know, see if it's okay. And then, because what a lot of people don't understand either, the BT Awards, you know, that's mapped out. Like, the producers, like, they have a vision of how they want everything to go. So she had to make sure that that got cleared. But I just knew that it was gonna happen. So I started telling my grandma, I started telling my mom. I said, yo, Nicki just called me. I was like,
did they believe you?
Yeah, they believe me. I'm like, she just asked me about doing the BT Awards. And my grandma like, oh, what she said? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know. She said they gonna call back. Maybe like 11 o'clock that night, her team had called me back and was like, can you fly out in the morning? Mind you, this Thursday night, I flew out Friday. The awards is Sunday. Live television. So, and though I was used to singing live, this was a different environment, you know, compared to Idol, because we don't really watch Idol as much as we used to. So I knew that this was going to be like a whole, you know, if you suck, they going to tell you like, you know, all of that. So I'm like nervous. And I remember flying in. Friday and going straight to rehearsals. Now this was my first time seeing Nicki like stripped down, like no makeup, because you know every time I saw her,
she was glammed up. So this is my first time seeing her like stripped down. No, I think she was wearing flip, like she was really just regular. And I remember us going in. It was me, her, and Safari in the room, and like it was like after we had took a break or something, and like it was our first time really like having like a real normal conversation. Like I remember like she was eating chocolate or something, and I remember like saying, like you don't need that. Like it really was just like normal, like really like, and we just talking like, and I'm just like, I'm in my mind, cause on the show they pit the girls against the boys so much, and they always said that the level of the girls was, you know, so higher than the boys. So I remember saying like, why me? Like, you know, why out of all people that you could have called? Cause I really was curious. Like, did you ask her this?
Yes. I'm like, why me? And she like, why not you? And she just was saying like, I guess it was just something like we really connected like from the first day. So I think it was just that connection, and also too like we kind of had similar, like she always said how my story reminded her of her story. And I just think she knew how bad I really, you know, wanted this. Now with that being said, I never talked about this either. With that being said, with me flying into rehearsals, I was so, like, my mind was all over the place. I remember like singing it one way one day, singing it the other day, another day. And our dress rehearsal, we walked in, like, you know, dress rehearsal is when you dress, you put on your clothes, what you performing in, and everybody rehearse like as if you was doing a show. And I remember walking in, and Chris Brown was rehearsing right before us. Now, mind you, I'm a huge Chris Brown fan. Like, he's probably the reason that I'm singing today. But I just could not say something, go back to saying, like, we love these people so much. Sometimes, like, for me at least, I would rather not say nothing and keep the perception that I have in my mind versus me say something and then you be a person, you know, totally different from what I imagined. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't say nothing. I still regret that to this day. But we got up there to do the dress rehearsal, and I did something different again. And literally, before I could even hand the mic off to the people, they like, Nicki wants you in her room. And she had a hotel like downtown LA where the BT was at. It's like, you know, hotels and stuff around it. So her hotel was literally like, as soon as you walk out the building, it was like right there. So I went in the room, and they was all sitting like waiting for me. And she came open the door, and I walked in, and she sat down. She was like, Burnell, I love you on a business level and a personal level, but you're not about to fuck up my show. Now the New Orleans person in me wanted to be like, who you like? But I had to humble myself and realize that this opportunity don't come often. You know what I'm saying? And whatever she's telling you, receive that, because she's obviously telling it to you for a reason. So she went to saying, they got Chris Brown on the show, they got August on the show, they got Trey Songz on the show. It was packed out that year. Like, everybody was there. And a lot of New Orleans people was there. She like, all of these people is there. All these people is here. I could use any one of them, but I want to use you. And I didn't know that they had recorded a video of me on stage rehearsing. So she showed me on her laptop. She like, this is how I want you to sing it. And this is how I wound up getting her number, because she had to text me the video. So I'm literally, this is like 30 minutes before the show. I'm literally putting my clothes back on with earphones in my ear, listening to the video over and over and over.
Wow.
And over, right? I am scared out of my mind, because even though I want to do great for the people that's watching, I want her to be pleased also. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like nervous. We got on the stage, and there was a wall, because she had did a separate song before she did the song that I was singing on. So it was a wall that was like covering me. And on Idol, they always taught us this trick, like, if we nervous to sing in the crowd, sing above everybody. Look above everybody. Don't look, you know, at people. Angel, that wall came up. The first person I saw was Wayne. I said, God damn. I'm like, I gotta do good. Not like, you know, I didn't even really know at the time Wayne was gonna be there. Like, you know, it wasn't nothing like Nicki ain't say like, oh, Wayne. I didn't know. So I saw him and I said, oh, like, you better do your big one. So it was like another time I had blacked out, and I snapped back out of it. And as I'm walking off the stage, literally everybody is 2 Chainz, all these people tapping me like, good job, good job, good job. And it had got so overwhelming that I had to leave, like, cause I felt myself about to break down. I felt myself about to cry. So I'm like, just go back to the hotel. If you gonna cry, go back to the hotel. I remember my phone blowing up. Buku people, because you got to keep in mind this was a surprise. Nobody knew I was. But
everybody watching the awards.
Right. Because even at this time, BT was kind of like declining a little bit, but it was still like people were still watching. Yeah. Right. So I'm like, I gotta go home. People texting me. I'm seeing numbers that's not saved. Like, I'm proud of you. Angel, I kid you not. I wasn't even replying to him. I was just deleting because why you wait for like for me to have a moment to tell you, for you to tell me you proud of me. Like, tell me you proud of me on a regular. Like, tell me you proud of me on the days when I need to hear it the most. Yes. I know you proud of me. I'm proud of me too. You know, but sometimes I need to hear that on days where I don't feel so proud of me. You know what I'm saying?
And let me ask you this, not to cut you off, but speaking of that, now that you are getting more notoriety, getting, you know, continuing to go further in your journey, do you still feel that same way?
Yeah, but like just from like people, like it's just a select few of people, like people that I need to hear from. Like, you know, hearing it from my mama is like, you know, the world. Like, you know, hearing it from like people that's really, really, you know, close to me. I'm very aware of like what's going on now. Like, you know, I'm very aware of that. So though I like when people tell me they proud of me or whatever, I'm really genuinely proud of myself because I know how far I've come. You know? And literally I went home, went to the hotel, and I was reading all of the tweets and all that. Fun fact, before anything, before even BT Awards, if I'm lying, I got the receipts. I'm good on the receipts now. I was the first person, even before the BT Awards, I was the first thing to trend on Twitter. Out of everybody that was there, it was Pills and Potions was the song that I sung, and then right under it, number 2 was Burnell Taylor. And like when I tell you, I was like scrolling I was looking at the tweets, and I was just crying because I was more like satisfied with the people that was tweeting me saying like, who are you? Like, where you been? You know, because like I said, this is a whole different audience. You know, this is like introducing me to people that really don't know who I am. And I remember Nicki had an after party that night that I was gonna go to, but I was just telling myself, I was so emotionally all over the place. I was like, I'm not gonna go. Like, you know, I would rather not, you know, because though I was happy, I was still like crying. Like, I don't want to be around people crying and all that, you know. So I'm like, I'm gonna go. So me and her background singer, she can't pick me up, and we was going, and I remember I'm like, so, cause you know, mind you, this all new for me. Even when I was on the show, I wasn't old enough to go to clubs and all that, so I didn't really know how the club scene worked. So I remember telling her like, how are we supposed to do this? Like, I'm not about to walk up to the door and be like, we're here for Nicki. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm too much of a New Orleans.
I ain't set myself up for that.
I ain't doing that. So I'm like, what we supposed to do? She like, I got an email, I can email her. Then it dawned on me, I'm like, I got a number. I said, you know what? I'm gonna just text her. Like, you know, it can either go 1 or 2 weeks. Like, you know, it can't be that bad. So I text her, I'm like, trying to be cool. I'm like, what's up, Nick? I'm like, we trying to come to the party. She like, where you at? I'm like, we parking. She was like, all right, come to the side door. But when we got to the side door, they was closing the side door. I'm like, they not letting us through the side door. She like, all right, I'm about to send somebody. She sent like 4 security guards. I said, hold on. So we walking through, and I remember literally walking through. It's a dark club. I remember walking through. I'm not sure if it was her fans or whatever, but they were stopping me like, man, you killed that, you killed it, you killed it. And when I got to the section, when I got in her section, she was like, what's up, superstar? She was like, I saw you was trending on Twitter. I was like, yeah. She like, I just want to first of all say thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm like, I appreciate you. You know what you just did? She like, I'm like, you just introduced me to people that had no idea, you know, who I am. She was like, they know who the fuck you are. I had to remind them.
And look, it goes back to that constructive criticism that you accepted. Because like you said, it could have been easy for you to be like, you know,
like, don't talk to me like
but you accepted it. And you did what needed to be done. And she told you in there, you said something that she told you in there, why not you? Burnell, to this day, why not you? You're doing it.
Yeah.
You and I'm taking it all the way back to the beginning of this conversation. I am here. You are here. You work for this. You put the work in.
She asked me when I was leaving. And I was like, I'm supposed to leave tomorrow because they had me scheduled to fly out the next day. And she was like, you want to stay longer? And I was like, do I want to stay longer? I said, hell yeah. She like, well, just let me know how long you want to stay. And you know, we'll make sure we get it handled. And I stayed until Wednesday. I probably would have stayed the whole week, but my little cousin, in 2011, she got killed by a motorcycle on the 4th of July. So every 4th of July, her mom and her dad do something for her. So I had to come back for that. But had that wouldn't, you know, been the case, I probably would have stayed longer. So I also too, I want to put this out there too, because I think people have so many like, just like you could have a good perception of a celebrity, I think there's a lot of bad like perceptions of Nicki. And I remember, Angel, I remember before we went on the stage to perform, she prayed. And when I tell you, when she started the prayer, my head was down. Mid-prayer, my head was up and like really like looking around because she really was going in and everybody was crying.
Wow.
Everybody was crying. And this was my first time, like, because you know, you hear all these talks, like, you know, at one point, the Illuminati thing, like, you know, all of these conversations be going on. And I really got to experience and see for myself, like, you know, this lady is really spiritually connected. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about when, and everybody was crying. I just couldn't believe it. But I love Nicki. Like still to this day, we interact. Like, she followed me. I do think that it's not something that I used to, like, when we first did the BT Awards, I used to press her about, like, you know, doing something else. But like now I'm kind of like, if it's meant to happen, I know it will. And especially too, I want to say this too, when I was rehearsing, like, there's these people that's called runners. So runners are like the people that take you to the hotels. Like, you know, if you need something to eat, they'll go get something to eat. And I was like one of the last people there because one of the ladies that had to bring me to the hotel, she was gathering things to, you know, gathering things or whatever. And I remember her carrying something to her truck. And I got up and I was like, you know, I got it. Like, you know, just because that's how we raised. Like, you know, that's, you know, our culture. Like, we could walk on down the street and see a stranger we never saw before and be like, how you doing? Like,
yes. So
I'm grabbing and she looked at me and was like, wow. She was like, people don't normally be like this, you know. They're normally like stuck up and, you know, whatever. And Nicki had told me that her team had told her how much, you know, it was a pleasure, like, dealing with me. So leaving that type of impression on people, you never know what new opportunity might come across, and she might be like, you know what, Burnell might be great for this, you know. So I still Like a lot of people be saying, "Oh, she should have did this, she should have did that." Like what she did, she didn't have to do. You know, she literally flew me all the way from New Orleans. She could have got anybody that would have been less expensive in LA. You know. Also, too, I didn't even know I was getting paid. I was doing it because it was a great opportunity. Literally, I'm sitting in the trailer and they bringing me paperwork to sign. And I'm like, what this for? They like, this for your check. I'm like, my check? Like, you know what?
Okay.
So it was just a win-win situation all around, and I love her forever for that. And we never work again. I'm just so grateful for everything she's done already and everything that she said to me, because it really helped me to be where I am today.
Yes, it definitely helped you in your journey to push you along. And you can even think back to those moments whenever, you know, you get to a point where you may feel stagnant or feeling like, well, why me? Think back to what she told you, you know what I'm saying? But let's backtrack a little bit. Now let's take it back to April 4th, 2013. That was the last day you were on American Idol after being number 7. You were number 7. And you wrote this on Instagram. I didn't understand it then, but not winning Idol was the best thing that could have happened for me. I've learned so much about everything. Forever grateful. So why was that the best thing that ever happened to you?
Multiple reasons. One, I think that everything just happens for a reason, right? My grandmother, not too long after I got on the show, had got diagnosed with COPD. She was on oxygen like 24/7. My grandpa, like mysteriously out the blue, was diagnosed with lung cancer. The last year of her really being sick, he got diagnosed with lung cancer, and then the cancer spread to his brain. Throughout that whole time, like weirdly enough, I really just think that it wasn't my time. Like it wasn't my time to win. And I look back at it like in hindsight, you know, since then both of them passed in 2019, 3 months apart. My grandmother passed first, and then my grandfather passed. And I think in hindsight, because I was technically their caregiver, my grandmother had got to the point where she couldn't go to the bathroom on her own. Like she would even try sometimes, and like her not getting enough oxygen, she would pass out and bust her lip, bust her, like it was a lot. And I think in hindsight, me not winning was really just to make sure that I was there. Cause I always think about it like, what if I would have won? Like, what if I would have won, and what if I would have been this huge mega star that was like all over the place and barely could be home? I think I would be so like messed up mentally right now. I find peace in knowing I was there, you know, and just hearing my grandma say, like, I remember one time, like, people had started coming to the house to see her, and I remember one time hearing her say, I got a good grandson. And I feel like no Grammys, no awards, no accolades, none of that would have been able to stand in a place of that time, you know, that I had with them, and that time that I sacrificed a lot. I'm talking about years. Like, in the midst of that, in the midst of my grandparents being really sick, I was sick too. Mentally, I was sick. Like, I was depressed. I had got to the point where all I was doing was smoking, eating, sleeping, the same pattern like every day. And then people by me losing so much weight, it was a gift and it was a curse, because as soon as I started gaining the weight back, people were like, and I don't think consciously they mean any harm, but I don't think they understand like how powerful your words could be. So they would come up to me and tell me like, I'm talking about family members too, will walk up to me and tell me like, whisper in my ear like, oh, you eating good, huh? Yeah. Oh, you putting that weight on, huh? And it started, the more they was telling it to me, the more I was taking it, like, and it started, literally, I started believing everything that they were saying. So it had got to the point where I wasn't taking pictures. I wasn't, like, a selfie. What is a selfie? Like, I wasn't taking no selfies. I was, even when I record videos of me singing, like, it'll be like, I'll be singing, but the phone would be facing, like, the wall or something. Yeah, it was really bad. And yeah, one day not 2018, the end of 2017, I had just woke up one day and I was like, they're gonna have to take me as I am. You know, they're gonna have to, I know I'm not ugly. You know, I know I'm handsome. You know, I know how to dress. I know I'm still talented. You know, all of these things I know. So I'm like, I started just every day, gradually, I started taking selfies. I started taking pictures. I started recording videos. Like, and that just got to the point where I was like, yeah, like, what you see is what you get. I'm not gonna stress myself about how somebody else. And the crazy thing about it is, I tell people this all the time, people will lay their insecurities on you.
Yes. Because
most of the time, the people that was telling me that I was eating good and I was gaining weight was people that never lost weight since I known them. They've been heavy since I known them. You know what I'm saying? Here I am. I was actually able to lose weight. Yes. You know, I was able to do that. And here you are, a person that never done it, but you laying your insecurities and everything that you feel on me. And then, like I said, it started really affecting me until I realized, like, you know, this who I am, you know. And I remember, I ain't never said this. My mom gonna be so mad. It was a family member. I'm not gonna say which family member, because if I say it, it's gonna be real, like, direct, and I don't want it to be. But they gonna know if they hear this, they gonna know. There was a family member. It was two family members. One of them was really, really close. He was like my senior, if you catch my drift. He was like my senior. And it was another family member. So it was Thanksgiving and I walked into the house, and the first thing one of the family members said was, Scooter, this, now mind you, this in 2020. This is 2020. I walk in, Scooter, you need to pick one. What you gonna be, fat or skinny? And then the other family member rebutted and said, yeah, you need to lose some weight. Now, mind you, I just said my grandparents passed away in 2019. Both of these people know how instrumental both of my grandparents was in my life and how much of a loss it was for me. So instead of asking me, how you doing, like you said, it's okay to ask people, how are you? You know what I'm saying? And, like, there's nothing wrong with that. So I said the old me wanted to receive that. You know, the old me wanted to receive that because, mind you, I had been heavy for some years now. From like 2017 all the way to 2020, that's a long time, you know. So at this point, I thought people had got used, you know, I thought people had got used to me being the size that I am. So this was my first time somebody was telling me something. Like, of course, the people on the internet, you know, but I don't care about that. Like, you know, these people that don't know me, I don't care about that. It's the people that, you know, that know me and that's close to me that, you know, sometimes it affects me. So the old me wanted to react that way, but I said, you know what, I'm going to take a different approach. I said, you know, and then my cousin, she was in the kitchen. So as they telling me this, she like, I like Big Scooter or whatever. Like, you know, she just backing me, you know what I'm saying? Because I really felt attacked. Like, you know, I really felt ambushed. So I'm like, you know, at least, I mean, I'm like, as long as every time y'all see me, I look and I smell good, that's the only thing that matters. So then one family member gonna say, well, yeah, that is true. You do be looking and smelling good. So now you just confirming everything that I had just said previously. You know, people get intimidated when, like you said, people get intimidated when they see you don't look like what you've been through.
And you're comfortable.
Right. When you walk, right. When you walk in the room with your head out high and not looking to the floor, people can't understand that because of the insecurities and battles, silent battles that they deal with themselves. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like understand that it's really not personal. You know what I'm saying? It's just them speaking through their insecurities.
Yes. And let's go back to you being depressed. What put you in a state of depression?
I think it was maybe a couple things. I think the main thing was like the weight thing. I think the weight thing was the main thing, and then too, like me feeling like I was stuck. You know, me feeling like how I come from being on TV with millions of people watching me. I'm making $4,000 checks a day. Like how I go from that to
back where I was.
Right, but like I said, in hindsight, I think that was all God. Like God, He knew that's where I needed to be, and ironically, that's why I think I was depressed, and that's why I think He had me going through what I was going through, so that I could sit down and be with my grandparents. Because, like I said, like throughout them getting sick, I really was going through my own thing too. But I was, you know, I wasn't on the streets. Yes. I wasn't homeless, you know, not like that. I was, you know, well taken care of. I didn't have a lot of money. But I still felt like I was stuck, you know what I'm saying? And I just think, I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't think people really could pinpoint why
they're depressed.
Right. I think it's just something that happens, you know.
And a lot of times it's multiple things that can cause you to be depressed. But one thing I love that your expressing is, you know, how the weight thing took a toll on your mental. Because even from a male, a lot of men don't talk about that. You know, we don't even hear a lot of men expressing their emotions or feelings. So that's really big. And to see the 2022 Burnell scooter now, it's just like, what? Yeah. What? Yeah. Your presence is so just loud. When you walk in the room, you don't even have to say a word. Besides the point of you being Burnell Taylor, your confidence is amazing. Let's go to the Millennium Tour. You know, I listen to that Chris Brown song every day now, just because you sung it. Your confidence on stage, your confidence when you walk in, to be able to capture a room the way you do, on the microphone, off the microphone. Where did you get that from?
First of all, let's talk about the Millennium Tour. I had went to the Millennium Tour because my main reason, Sammy, I'm really cool with Sammy. So I had never saw Sammy live, and when I was younger, I really thought I was Sammy. You know, like everybody. You know, he was a child star, and I really thought, you know, he sung, and I really thought I was Sammy. So we got to the Millennium Tour. Mind you, I pay attention and I'm on top of everything. Even when people think I'm not, I'm on top of everything. So I knew that it was a segment where they give people the mic, because I had been watching. I had knew a couple of people that was in other cities that had did it, but we had got there so late. We had missed Soulja Boy, Yin Yang Twins. We had missed almost half of everybody. Sammy, the person I went there to see, Miss Sammy. So in my mind, I missed it. So Ashanti come on stage, and it's like a little intermission. So I'm like, let me go. I had started drinking, so I'm like, I had did the whole thing. Like I did the big jersey. I did I really went all out. I'm like, somebody come take my pictures before I waste something on me, because I knew I was getting a little tipsy. So I'm like, come take pictures of me. I went upstairs to go take the pictures, and we taking the pictures. I'm like taking buku pictures, and I'm hearing people screaming, but I'm thinking, because the next person come on stage was Omarion. I'm thinking Omarion came on stage. So our seats was at the bottom, so I had to walk down the steps. And when I got down the steps, everybody like, where you was at? Where you was at? I'm like, what's going on? They like, they let the people sing. They let the people sing. I said, oh no, go get that fucking ass. So everybody went to going crazy in the area that I was in. The man had them pass us up. But I think God won. But I think he had saw everybody going so crazy. I feel like he said, I gotta go see what they talking about. And what's even more crazy is it was so, this Live Nation, the production thing. So they don't do the lateness and all time. Like everything is on time. So if you listen to the video, we were so close to like the time. You could hear Omarion drummers, when you get a chance, go back. You could hear his drummers like testing their drums out and everything in the background. But when he came back and he gave me the mic, mind you, they say you're not supposed to say you're humble, but I would say that, you know, I'm confident, but I wouldn't say that I'm cocky. So I'm just about to sing whatever we do. He gave me the mic. He said, what's your name? I said, Burnell. The whole stadium
went crazy.
Like, it was like the stadium was rocking. And I'm like, I had to look over like, what the fuck's going on? Like, they're like, yeah. So the man like, wait, y'all know him? They're like, yeah, we know him. Gave him like, mind you, listen, I think only singers will understand this. When somebody tell you to sing on the spot, it's like, so many songs is going through your mind. I don't know why I said, I'ma sing Your Man Ain't Me. I'm saying I want to sing Your Man Ain't Me. I don't even know how Your Man Ain't Me started. If you look at the video, I had to look over and told my sister, because she was right next to me. I said, how Your Man Ain't Me started? So she telling me, I'm like, girl, I picture you acting all cocky like I deserve you. And everybody's like singing, like rocking. I stopped singing, the whole stadium. like, I get to my car, it's a million story mentions. It's like, it really was like that whole year I was doing great. Like I was, had a lot of bookings, but I feel like that moment, because I don't care what nobody say, it's nothing like getting love from your
city. Like,
it's nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was, not all validation is good, but some of it is, especially when you use it to your advantage. And I think that was a moment like, I still got it. I still got it. I'm still here. Like, I don't have an album out. I never put an album out. I never put an EP out. I dropped a couple of singles, but I don't have no manager, no label, no nothing. Man. And the fact that these people is still
rocking with you.
Right. Imagine
when you put it out.
Imagine when it happened. Like,
let me ask you this. Do you understand the impact, the influence, the talent that you have? Honestly.
I definitely,
like, put the humbleness aside.
I definitely see the influence. I see a lot, in the words of Nicki, I see a lot of my sons. But like, it's humbling at the same time too, that people were like ready for love. It's been moments where I didn't call people sing like that song. Nobody ever sung that song like that. Let me be clear. Nobody sung that. That song, I specifically structured I structured that song so well. Nobody ever sung that song like that. There's been times where I come across videos of people singing it down to the T. You know what I'm saying? Singing it down to the T, and they know who I am. They ain't tagging me saying, I think we got that bad too. Like, it's okay to tell somebody you inspired me. That don't make you less or more than who you are to tell somebody you inspired me. The other day, shout out to Hot Sizzle. The other day, Hot Sizzle randomly just DM'd me and said, "May our God continue to bless you. I'm proud of everything that you like." He didn't have to do that, but he did that because that's the type of person that he is. It don't take nothing from you to show love or tell somebody that they doing their thing or you proud of them.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely, now I'm starting to see it because I feel like I can take the credit for it now.
Okay.
Right? Okay. I feel like over this last year and a half, I literally just woke up one March last year. I just woke up and I was just tired. Like, I was tired of borrowing money. I was tired of like asking people for whatever. Like, I was just tired. And one day I don't know. Like, I just woke up and was like, Like, and mind you, this isn't new to me. Like, over the years, I've done like pop-up situations, but on a consistent level that I've been doing it, and like I was so like the demand, like I was really like, so I'm like, I'ma just say I'm taking bookings, and I started taking bookings, and I'm this is free game, y'all. Y'all willing, y'all able, y'all are more than welcome to apply this to your life. But one of my marketing strategies was the first person that booked me, when they sent me the money, I sent the money right back to myself. So when I posted the first person booking me, it looked like now 2 people that booked me. So with me doing that, everybody was like, "Oh no, like I need to get a date. I gotta," and literally it was just like, I'm talking about, it was just rolling in. I really think what it was I stopped like letting the internet use me, and I started using the internet. Like, what is the purpose of all these followers if you're not turning your followers into dollars? You You know, and don't get me wrong, it's bigger than the money for me, especially that type of work. Like, I was just having this conversation yesterday. Like, I feel good knowing that I'm creating memories where people are going to be talking about this for years. Like, you remember when he proposed to you and Burnell came sung? Like, you know, just different stuff like that means more to me than money. But I'm not gonna act like the money not good.
Like it doesn't matter too. This is your job.
Yeah, it do. And that's just what happened. I just got up, and two, I stopped worrying about how what people said, what people thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because even now I'm the heaviest I've ever been. But I'm good. I'm more confident than I ever been also, you know. So I'm like, you know what, this would be a great way to step out of my comfort zone and to like push myself. Like, don't worry about what they gonna say or how they, you know, go in the room, command the room, do what you gotta do and leave. You know? And you do that. Yeah. You do that. I mean, and I love it. I really do love it. Like, the reactions sometimes they be scaring me. Because they'll be screaming and I'll be like, oh my God, like, you know, don't scream so loud. Like, but it's just them, like, you know, really being, like, these are people that watch my videos. Yes. Like, people be booking me for people that, you know, they know who I am. They, you know, watch countless of things that I've done. Yes. So they really be excited. So it's like, everybody still be like, oh, you need a record deal, and I'm like, yo, I am okay. I'm in a lane that was totally open. Like, I don't have to worry about nobody coming in my lane. I don't go in nobody else's lane. I stay out the way. Though I am a very, I would say, a humble person, and I'm nice, I'm not friendly at the same time. Like, I'm not the type of person that feel like I have to be involved in X, Y, and Z, or I gotta be around X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm okay with staying in my lane and staying out the way. Like, I love it. Like, I don't have to worry about dealing with too much of nothing, because I literally just go in, sing, and come on out. And go to the next booking. Right. So what's next for Burnell Taylor? What can we expect? What can we be looking forward to? Is there an album? Is there an EP? Let us know what's coming up. Okay, so I recently last year I started like getting footage and content for my documentary. Yeah, so there is a documentary that's gonna be coming out probably sometime next year. Yes. Music, yes. You know, that's my first love is writing. Like, you know, my first love is writing. I love writing. It just so happened that this time I decided to take a different approach and, you know, lay down a nice foundation. Like, I have everybody's attention right now. Yes. So whenever I drop anything, it's gonna be like, oh my God, like, we've been waiting for this. Yes. So, though people feel like it's been too long, I'm actually in the perfect position because I haven't dropped anything yet. So it's like the anticipation is like, it's building. It's like, we wait, like, we gonna do something. It's through the roof. So I wouldn't, like, for a long time I wanted to do an EP. But I feel like because it's been so long, I feel like I just want to go straight into doing the album. I've been recording for like years. There's songs that I'm thinking about making singles and stuff that I recorded years ago. So the material isn't a thing. Like, I have enough material where I could do an EP, an album, and a mixtape. It's just the timing, you know, especially too, like I said, though I'm in the perfect position, I feel like it's like I only got one shot to get this right, you know. So it has to be like, it has to exceed everybody's expectations, you know. And that's just where I'm at. Like, I told like the people that I'm working with, I told them like we're not in the box. Like I don't want to put myself in the box. Let's just record all kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
And whatever work, and whatever don't. The good thing is, it's still stuff that we could possibly shop to other artists, shop to other labels, you know. Because I do want to be an artist / songwriter. Like I want to be able to do my own music, but I also want to be able to write for other artists as well.
And I heard that's where the money is.
Yeah, that's where the money resides.
Yeah. Now, one thing I did want to talk about, as American Idol contestants or just even singers, you know, sometimes you build a relationship with different contestants, even if you're on different seasons. Earlier this week, maybe 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, there was the passing of Willie Spence. I'm a big American Idol fan. You know, I watched his whole journey on American Idol. I would go back to YouTube just to watch him sing on YouTube, and he was an amazing person. And sadly, he passed away at the age of 23 years old. But one thing I think that we all can agree on is he left his mark.
Yeah.
Definitely left his mark.
Definitely.
And I know you all had a relationship, so just give some words, whatever may be on your heart, towards his family, and just tell us a little bit about him.
First of all, I would like to say that I'm not really cool with a lot of people from that franchise, but me and Willie was able to like build a genuine, bond, like something that I felt like it wasn't forced, like it wasn't like something that I felt like we was like, it was just genuine, and I think that he definitely was and still is a gift, because I feel like, people leave physically, but, their spirit and what they left behind, like, will never be erased, you know what I'm saying? And it's just unfortunate, and his family, I'm just, like, keeping them in my prayers. Like, I just couldn't imagine, like, going through something so tragic, like with somebody that's that young with so much life ahead of him. Like, it's just sad, And I'm gonna do my part in whatever I could do to, like, like keep his name alive, and
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's sad, man, when stuff happen like that. Like, I had a cousin that passed in a car accident, so like anything dealing with that, it just, it take me back to how he felt, and in that moment, because it's so like random,
Yes.
And I'm just praying for him. Like, you never really know what to say to, like,
Yes.
like I can't say that it's gonna be all right. Like, this is a whole life that's gone, and if he was a joy and a genuine person to people like me, I can only imagine what he was like, to his family,
Yes.
And for that person to just be gone, like, I just don't have no other words but to say that I'm keeping them in my prayers.
Absolutely. And our hearts and our prayers, everything go out to his family. He definitely left his mark here on this earth, and we just are going to continue to pray for the family during such hard times. So I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job. It's only up from here. Like I said,
Yes.
I'm going to see you at the top.
That's the only way we going.
But I have a small request. Just a tag request. If you need some water, get some water.
Oh, Lord.
But we need a little bit of I Am Ready for Love here on Love Talk.
If you give me half a chance, I'll prove this to you. I will be patient, kind, faithful, and true to a girl who loves music, a girl who loves art, respects the spirit of world, and thinks with your heart. I am ready for love. Ooh, yeah.
Burnell Taylor. Scooter, you are extremely talented.
Thank you.
And I want to give you your flowers while you can smell them, give you your roses, and let you know how amazing you are doing, how amazing you are, how talented you are, how confident you are, how just your presence is felt without you even saying a word. So with that being said, I love you. I love what you're doing. Thank you for gracing Love Talk. Before we go, I just want to open up the floor to you to say whatever it is that's on your heart.
God is good all the time.
All the time.
You know, and whatever you want to do in life, whatever you want to be, it's already written, you know. Everybody got their own purpose, have their own lane. You know, my biggest thing is I'm not intimidated by nobody, and I don't want nobody to be intimidated by me. I do what I do very well, you know, and I'm not trying to take on nobody else's plate, and I don't want nobody, you know, to take on mine, like, you know. And I'm just grateful to be here. Like I said, I'm honored that my first interview in years is somebody that, you know, I have history with, somebody that I know, somebody that I, you know, I trust with, you know, whatever I talk about. So just as well as you are honored for me to be here, I'm honored to be here. Yeah.
Yes, and this is just only the beginning, like literally only the beginning for both of us. I'm talking big stage. I'm talking talk show, like when I call you and be like, I need you to come to the studio, answer the phone. Because we talking big things here, okay? And again, I'm proud of you. Y'all make sure that y'all tap in with Burnell. Let them know how they can book you.
Book me at BookBurnellTaylor at yahoo.com. You can follow me on Instagram at DRealBurnell. Also on TikTok and Twitter. And, you know, you'll find everything on all of those platforms.
Yes, and just like that, we have wrapped another Love Talk with the one and only Burnell Taylor. Y'all remember to believe in yourself.
Yes, indeed.